Hey everybody, it's Cindy Ingram from Art Class Curator and the Future Curated Connections workshop, which is coming at the end of the summer. So I have been thinking about a topic that I thought I would just throw out there and see what you think. When I first started my website 5 years ago, I was dedicated to having students make personal connections with works of art. And I've talked about this before, that one of the most important tenets of finding or creating a personal connection to art is to pick a really good artwork. So we'll talk about that more in the future, but one of the main components of a good artwork to talk about is it relatable to the student? Can they connect to it on a personal level? When I first started, I would try to think of look for other websites talking about what I was talking about. I did some research on search engine optimization, which is SEO, about like what words people are using to search. And often when people are searching works of art, they always put the word famous in it. It just didn't sit right with me. It never did. I never used the word famous in my blog posts. I did very recently use the word famous in my blog posts because the search engine said that famous women artists is something people are searching for. So we changed it to famous and should be famous women's artists. The reason I don't think famous is important is because most of the people that are famous built out of a culture that oppresses different voices. People of color, women, other cultures, etc. Famous artworks, we think of, Van Gogh, Monet, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, insert old white guy here. If you think of, there are a lot of women artists and they're coming out more and more. We are learning more and more about artists from around the world. And the fact that they're famous means nothing. It doesn't show that their art is better than any other art. It doesn't show anything other than the system that we were raised in and that we are living in favored a certain type of artist. In terms of not only through an art historical lens, but also through contemporary society of, if you think of the late 1800s, and even in the Renaissance, women were not taken seriously. They weren't given the training that other artists were given and things like that. So we have lost a lot of people through history because of this. I had a really amazing conversation with Devin Calvert of Mr. Calvert's Art Room. That's his blog. He is the president of the Wisconsin Art Education Association. You might have heard of him. He's awesome. But we were talking at NAEA, and he said it's really important for him to show that there are other artists because a person growing up in this world is going to be introduced to Van Gogh. If they make it to age 20 and they haven't learned who Van Gogh is, they'll learn eventually if they haven't already. They'll see his artwork all around the world. It's all over the place. They'll figure it out. He said it's his job to introduce other voices in that they aren't going to automatically learn about just through osmosis in society. And I thought that was a really, really awesome point of view, and I thought I would share that point of view with you. I told him I might steal that at some point, but I'm definitely giving him credit because I think that is amazing. So I want to challenge you that when you're creating your curriculum, when you're picking artworks for your curriculum, that you pick artworks that are relatable to your student. And I'm not saying there's not value in studying Van Gogh. I love Van Gogh. There's value in these artists, but there's also value in voices that are not as famous, and that famous doesn't mean anything. I hope that encourages you to look a little bit deeper for different types of artworks to show your students next year and then at the end of the school year. I want to hear about your favorite artist. So tell me in the comments of this video which artist you love to include that your students really love so that we can start building a library of artworks and artists to choose from that are not, the famous dead white guys. Okay, thank you so much. Look forward to hearing your ideas of artists and have a great day. Bye.